Hello everyone, this is Annette with the South Charleston Library with another First Chapter Friday. Welcome into the new year, another welcome to you. The Chinese New Year is ending at the end of this year and at the end of this month, and it is the Year of the Rat. So today I have chosen a book by that title. It's called The Year of the Rat. It's a novel by Grace Lin. And it is presented to us by Little Brown Books for Young Readers by Hatchet Book Group. What I found interesting about this is each book has a dedication to it, and it's usually someone in the author's life, but I'm going to hold this up to you, and it says, if you are reading this book, it is dedicated to you. Also, I'm going to share with you a picture that she has of her family, and it's called My Family During the Year of the Rat. And this is kind of a semi-autobiographical story that she's going to be sharing with you today. So let us begin. Happy Year of the Rat, Dad said as he toasted us with his glass. The clinking noises filled the air as the adults knocked glasses of wine against the kids' cups of juice. It was the eve of Chinese New Year, and my best friend Melody and her family had come for the celebration dinner just as they had for the last 2 years. Before Melanie moved to upstate New York, I always celebrated Chinese New Year with just my family, me, Kiki, Lissy, Mom, and Dad, because we were the only Asian people in the area. But since Melanie and her family were also Taiwanese, they came to celebrate the New Year's with us. As usual, the table was covered with food. Mom had made enough food for 10 people. Melanie also had 5 people in her family, 2 brothers and her parents, and leftovers. There always had to be food left over after a Chinese New Year dinner because that means you'll have more than enough for the year. So the plates of pork, yellow noodles, roasted duck, soft cotton white steamed buns, fried dumplings, delicate silverfish, and vegetables so shiny they looked polished crowded the table. There was barely enough room for our plates. Ugh, Year of the Rat, Lizzie said at the dining room table. I liked last year better when it was the Year of the Pig. I was lucky then. I rolled my eyes at Melody. She just gave me a small smile. I could tell that since her parents were here and they were guests for dinner, she had to be polite. She couldn't make rude faces like she normally would with me. And since it was my house, I didn't have to be polite. Oink, oink, I snorted. Lizzie's a pig. Pacey, Mom said in a way that meant behave. You're not supposed to say anything rude or bad on the New Year, Melanie's mother said, or you'll bring bad things into the year. Well, that bothered me. I didn't want a whole year of bad luck just because I saw a couple of... Well, that bothered me. I didn't want a whole year of bad luck just because I said a couple of silly things. I quietly and quickly settled down. In America, Dad said, ignoring me, rats are looked down upon, but Chinese people actually admire rats. Why? Benji, Melanie's younger brother, asked. They think the rat is very smart and cunning, Dad said, and he's first. What do you mean first? Kiki asked. You know the story of why all the Chinese years are named after animals, right? Mom said. Lizzie and Felix nodded, but Kiki shook her head. I remember a little, but I forget. Okay, I'll tell you again, Dad said. The story of the 12 animals of Chinese New Year, or how the rat was first. A long time ago, so long that you couldn't even imagine it, the Jade Emperor had a birthday. Since he was the Jade Emperor, the king of all the heavens, he invited the animals on the earth to come to his celebration. And he said, to add to the festivities, it would be a race. The first 12 to arrive would win the prize of a year named after them. So, of course, all the animals wanted this honor. But separating the earth and the Jade Emperor's palace was a large and forceful river with violent waves that rose and crashed over and over again like the pounding of a thunderous drum. All the animals worried about getting across. Many animals decided to train and prepare themselves for the event, like athletes before a marathon. One such animal was the cat. Every day he worked, strengthening his muscles, holding his breath, and trying to get used to the water. The night before the race, the cat put himself through vigorous exercises one last time. Exhausted, he went to bed, asked his friend the rat to wake him up in the morning in time to start the race. The rat agreed, but his mind was elsewhere. The rat knew he was a poor swimmer, too weak and too small to manage the river's waves. But he wanted to be an honored animal. He refused to give up, so all night he sat and thought and plotted. In the morning, the rat followed the strong water ox like a shadow. As soon as the race started, the rat made a flying leap onto the ox's back. The rat was so small and light that the muscular ox didn't even notice he was there. And since the water ox was the best swimmer, he was easily leading the race. The powerful ox had a fear of the rough water he wallowed in every day. Even with the fierce waves that were fighting him, he moved forward undaunted. But as soon as the Jade Emperor's kingdom was in range, the rat gave another flying leap and was the first one ashore. He was the winner, so the rat was rewarded by having the first year named after him. The ox was second, then the tiger, then the rabbit, who made it across by jumping from one river stone to the next, the flying dragon, who wasn't first because he stopped to make rain for some people, the snake, who had wrapped himself around the horse's ankle and scared the horse when he slithered off, causing the horse to jump back, the horse, then the sheep, monkey, and rooster, who had built a raft together, the dog, and then lastly the pig, who was late because he got hungry on the way and stopped to eat. And so the 12 years were named. And what about the cat? The rat forgot to wake him up in the morning, so he slept through the entire contest. That is why there is no year of the cat. That is also why whenever a cat sees a rat, it hisses and attacks. The cat has never forgiven the rat for not waking him up and making him miss the race. So the rat was the first of the 12 animals to finish the race, Dad finished, and that's why his year is first. So that means Lizzie has to wait 12 whole years before it's her year again, I said. I know I shouldn't, but I couldn't resist annoying her. Ha ha. Yes, Mom said as she nodded, and you know since the year of the rat is the first year of the next 12-year cycle, it symbolizes new beginnings. And that means changes, Melanie's mother said, and she gave her family a funny look I didn't quite understand. The year of the rat is time to make a fresh start and to change things. Melanie and I looked at each other. She had a weird look on her face. I felt confused. Changes? I liked the way things were right now. What was going to happen in the new year of the rat? This year, Chinese New Year was on a Saturday, so we could stay up late. After dinner, we all gathered in the family room. As Dad made a warm fire in our fireplace, Kiki almost closed her eyes from sleepiness. "Uh-oh," Lizzie said. "Wake up, Kiki. You have to welcome in the new year." "Yes," Melanie's dad said. "We have to keep you up all night. The longer you stay awake, the longer lives we will have." "Then you better do something to keep us awake," Melanie said, so we're just not so bored." "Oh, you want us to entertain you, huh?" Dad laughed. "Okay, let's see. I can sing. Do, re, mi." "No," we all said together. "How about if you all write down your New Year's resolutions," Dad said. "You can think about what you want to accomplish in the new year." "You're supposed to do that for the American New Year," Lizzie objected, "not Chinese New Year." "So," Dad said, "we celebrate both. We can make up our own traditions." Even though it seemed a little bit like school, it didn't sound so bad. So I got paper and pencils for everyone. When we sat down and started to write, I grinned at Melody. I knew that the only thing that both of us really wanted for New Year's was for Sam Mercer to like us. He was the cutest boy in our grade, but neither one of us knew we were not going to write that down. So, Pacey's resolutions were, number 1, write and draw another book like I did before and be an author and illustrator. 2, seek and find a unicorn, though a white horse would be okay too. 3, have a lot of money and be rich. 4, become famous. 5, have good luck in everything. When Mom and Dad read my resolutions, they laughed. Well, these are very unusual resolutions, Dad said, though I guess most people would like to share your last resolution. Americans write as resolutions, Mom said. Chinese and Taiwanese people write wishes. I think some of these on your list are more like wishes. Is there a big difference, I asked? Well, a resolution is something you can try to accomplish, but a wish to come true, it needs someone else to make it happen. Resolutions are better, Dad said. You're more powerful. You don't have to depend on anyone. A wish is left to fate, but a resolution is a change you make yourself. You can change your destiny with your resolution. I didn't really understand what Dad was talking about. Fate and destiny and resolutions. I did like the idea of being powerful, but I also really liked the idea of someone else making my wishes come true. That seemed a lot easier. I looked at Melody's list. Hers was a lot like mine, except for one. Melody's resolutions. Number 1, read 100 books. Number 2, get good grades. Number 3, win the lottery. Number 4, be the luckiest person in the world. Number 5, stay in New Hartford. Why did you write stay in New Hartford, I asked. New Hartford was the name of our town, the one we lived in now. Melanie looked sad. I wasn't supposed to tell you because we aren't supposed to have sad feelings on New Year, she said, but my mom told me we might be moving. Moving? You can't move. You just got here. I know, she said. I don't want to, but Dad's company wants to give him a job in California. California is on the other side of the country, I said. That's too far. You can't go. Well, my mom said maybe, Melanie said, so maybe we won't. Let's hope for good luck. Pacey, Melody, Mom said, calling us over. It's almost midnight. Mom handed us funny hats and noisemakers, and we all watched the clock. But even though I blew and yelled when the clock hit 12, I was quiet and I was worried on the inside. Melody was my best friend. We did everything together. If she left, I would be the only Asian student in my elementary school, except for Kiki. If Melody moved, everything would change. So that is the first chapter in the book by Grace Lin, The Year of the Rat. She is a very prolific writer, and she has several books in our collection here at the library and on Hoopla. So I mentioned that we are currently in the Year of the Rat, but beginning on January the 24th, which is a Friday, and it continues for 15 days, so that on February the 12th, we will herald in the Year of the Ox. So enjoy the end of the Year of the Rat and welcome into the Chinese New Year of the Ox. We'll see you later. Stay safe, stay well. We miss you here in the library.